always start off with a little humor, don't we?
Yes.
All right. When you're young and you drop something, you just pick it up. When you're older and you drop something, you stare at it for a while, wondering if you actually need it anymore. And if you don't, you might kick it underneath the furniture, right? I dropped a piece of ice the other day, and I've always picked up ice when I dropped it on the floor, but I did kick it underneath the fridge. They say when you retire, you'll travel more. What they don't tell you is that it's 2 doctor's appointments. These are all submitted by residents, almost all of them. Let me turn off my phone. Shame on me. All right. Let's see. A man and a quilt will both keep you warm at night, but a quilt never says anything stupid. Yeah. Guys, you gotta submit some things, guys. The women are really... To the greatest mom in the world, happy Mother's Day. So was the store all out of greatest mom in the universe cards? Mother's Day begins. Add more jam. You can still see the burnt part. Is 6 sugars in her coffee enough? The counter's all sticky, splat. You got more juice on the floor than in the glass. That's the knife the dog licked. Crash. Oops. The magic of dad voice. All right, stop fooling around and get ready for bed. I said get ready for bed. Your mother told you to get ready for bed now. High five. Nice. That's how it works for me too. Selfless acts of parenting. Hold on, I need to taste that to make sure it's not poisonous. Poisonous? You're the one who made these pancakes. Shh, our lives could be at stake. Wow, it's really hard to tell. I'm going to need one more bite. They all ate meals cooked by their husbands on Mother's Day. Thank goodness I'm a better cook than them. Happy Mother's Day humor and giveaway. I'm afraid you have what's known as children. One vacation day a year, that's all I get. We call it Mother's Day, but technically you still have to work. See, I told you, Superman. So that's how she does it. The flying cake. This is children, and this is a true story. My youngest son sleeps better at a bowling alley than he does at his own house. So the vacuum going, not a problem. Sleeps right through it. Car horn, phone rings. Mom closes her eyes for a second. He's got
That's not your kid.
the joy of a satisfying dishwasher arrangement. I enjoy that too, actually. Classic sibling arguments. That's the chair I wanted. He's copying me. Mom, it's my turn to push the button. No! She keeps looking out my window. Down there. Little kids before Mother's Day. Mommy, I made you something at school, but I can't tell you what it is. Okay, I will give you one hint. It is shaped like a tissue, paper, flour, and a flower pot. That is all I can say. Dad wants to know what puts out a grease fire. Baking soda, right? Honey, why don't you just go to bed? What? I'm not going to bed at 8 o'clock. That's absurd. 10 seconds later. Been there. I could fall asleep sitting up. Tantrums in 1963. Joyce, you're the reason your father is an alcoholic. In 1993, do you want a time out, Amy? Haley, I am holding space for your developmentally normal big feelings. My mom raising me. Enough with the junk food. No more junk food. My mom as a grandma. Oh, sweetie, that ice cream needs way more sprinkles. You have 2 legs. You can walk there. Get comfy. Grandma's going to pull you across the street to the park. No way. That toy is ridiculous and you don't need it. Mom, Grandma bought me a stuffed llama. I do like being Opa better than Dad, I have to say that. Unless they have water guns, and then it's not quite so much fun. Doing the dishes. Why didn't you wash this pan? That pan wasn't part of the official dinner dishes. What? It wasn't used for dinner. Listen, when I ask you to do the dishes after dinner, that means do every dish in the sink, not just the ones we use for dinner. Oh, and by the way, it also means cleaning the counter and making the kitchen look tidy. This is going from bad to worse. More classic sibling arguments. She's touching me. No, I'm not. He's breathing my air. He's on my side. She's looking at me. Don't make me turn the car around, right? All right. Questions and answers. I'm writing to express a growing concern regarding the safety of our residents and visitors due to the traffic behavior on Bull Creek Road. There have been many drivers traveling down Bull Creek Road at dangerously high speeds. Given the nature of our community and the pedestrians in the area, this reckless driving poses a significant safety risk, like the guy that ran over the tree with his Jeep. I'm wondering if Westminster can take measures to help discourage this behavior. Specifically, would it be possible to request that Austin Police Department establish a temporary presence on the road to deter or catch speeders, additionally installing some signage on Westminster property? Reminding drivers to adhere to the speed limit could serve as a helpful deterrent. I plan on posting about this issue on Nextdoor to raise awareness among our neighbors as well. Yes, I did call the police department and asked for some presence. I also think some signage will be helpful. Maybe a water gun that activates when they're speeding, and we can let you all man it and take turns if you want to. That might be really cool. But we'll work on that. I definitely agree, people are speeding.
Could we have a committee for that?
Yeah, you want a committee?
Water gun committee.
A water gun committee, I like it. Question.
What about just?
I'm not taking questions right now, ma'am.
This is a question, it's a statement.
Oh, it's a statement, okay.
What about asking the police to put some lumps in the road?
Yeah,
Bumps?
some traffic humps. Yeah, I think, all of those complaining are the speeders that don't like those. You know, in my pickup truck, I just drive over them. Anyway. Please provide an update on the solution to the hot water issue in Preston. We are currently rerouting, okay, so the answer is we're currently rerouting some hot water supply piping to address the hot water issues in the Preston. There's apparently a chase of apartments that are dealing with hot water issues. We put new boilers in, and when they did that, they replaced some plumbing pipes, and apparently they're not running in the right direction. So what's happening is they're causing, I'm trying to explain in layman's terms, because that's the way I know it, but anyway, what's happening is that a hot water boiler is back feeding into itself, so it keeps tripping, because it thinks the temperature is plenty hot, and it's not. And so they're working on that. They should have it fixed this week. Hooray. Question, is June 30th, 2026 still a good date for the Laurel Restaurant to open back up? I don't think that I said June 30th. I said June or July. We are hoping that we will have it open in late June or July. We don't have an exact date yet at this time. Significant progress is being made. I have some pictures for you. But a lot depends on inspections. And because we're trying to use this space, we're going to be getting a temporary certificate of occupancy, and that's kind of complicated. It has to be done in phases, and so the Laurel's part of a phase, and you have to, unfortunately, we have to have the west courtyard finished, and we also have to have the activity area all completed at the same time. And so after all these things have to be done, then we get inspected, and then they give us approval. And then we get to open, and then we'll do what's called a soft open. Do we have window cleaning scheduled this year? No. We will do an all-campus window cleaning after the construction projects are near completion. So when we stop moving dirt around, which we're moving from pile to pile, digging holes and stuff like that, just having a great time in the Preston courtyard is what we're doing. When we stop doing that and making all the dust, then we'll do a nice window cleaning, probably in late fall, okay? We know you like clean windows, but it won't do us any good to clean them today and just stir up the dirt, okay? Question, I hope that you will consider, this is not really a question, by the way, but it's a comment. I hope that you will consider giving first choice of reservations to the people in the Preston when the Laurel reopens, since we are the ones who have lived with the disruption. Anybody in the other buildings miss the Laurel? Oh, okay. We will, but everyone has missed the Laurel restaurant, right?
That's right.
We will do a soft open, limiting seating to 50 for a week or two, and then open up for full service as usual, okay? We always do that. We like to train up our staff, get them ready to work in the new dynamics of a new space, and then we open fully. We moved into the Preston 329 last month. What beautification is planned for the metal corrugated roof under our window? There will be a skylight installed over the next few weeks in that roof, and it will be cleaned, and it'll be as attractive as you can make a metal corrugated roof. Question, in the B wing, the humidity has been high for a month. MPS has been out to work on, but humidity is still high. Do you have an estimate of when this condition will be fixed? Humidity concerns in the B wing are presently limited to the first floor. This is due to two air conditioning systems, being offline in the hallway. Please be assured that we are actively working to resolve this issue as quickly as possible. So hopefully next week. Questions and answers. Question, are there any new meeting spaces planned in the current project? Yes. This will be covered in the following slides. You see the yellow highlighted areas?
Yeah.
Those can be meeting spaces. So quite a few. That is a private dining room. There's another private dining room. Both can be operated as meeting spaces. This is the new multi-purpose room, also a meeting space, which has a stage that folds to the wall when it's not being used. When it is being used, it can fold down. The new activity space can also be used as a meeting room. It'll have a cooking kitchen, an activity kitchen. It'll be a great place to do crafts and things like that. You still have the solarium when the project is finished. You also pick up a theater right here that has inclined seating, just like a real movie theater. It'll be a great place for screenings. You can do poetry readings. It'll have a stage area, but it won't have an elevated stage, but all the seats again incline towards that area. There's a new, what's called a speakeasy, which is just a nice little area to have a meeting, maybe have a wine and cheese tasting or something, or maybe a small group get together and there's soft seating in there. If you want to listen to music, there'll be a music room across from the library, the new library, and then you'll have the new library that replaces the current library. We don't like using the library as a meeting space. Did everybody know that? Yeah. And then you can use this cafe as a meeting space as well. Nothing really on the second floor. This is the new library space. This is going to be the music room. We're going to have a bunch of albums in there, CD player, all that stuff. It'll be a great place, soft seating to listen to music. This is the new chapel. The new chapel will be dedicated to being a chapel, not going to be a meeting space, not going to put a TV. This is the library. It's double. You can't see my pointer?
Yes,
Okay. Can you see this pointer? That's the library. This is the current library. which will be a music room. And I really do have a red pointer up here. I'm sorry you can't see.
It came on once.
Oh, okay.
Some of us.
Some of you can, yes, that's right. I'm not crazy. Maybe I am, but.
Not yet.
All right, also, that yellow space is the club room. So that'll be right there. Outside that door will be the club room. On the way up a ramp next to this space, next to Harrisville Hall, there'll be a golf simulator, a game simulator room. There'll be storage closets. The back of the room opens up. It has another set of doors, so Harrisville Hall will get a little bit larger. The conservatory comes up 2 stories and it has a deck on top of it, right? So we'll be able to walk out where those doors are right now. We'll be able to walk out that space right onto the deck of the conservatory. But the club room is another additional meeting space. It's also a place you can play games, things like that. And if you want to, you can meet on top of the conservatory outside. Or not. Okay. Westminster Dog Wash Station is live. It will be finished Monday and will open for business. You just need to call and reach out to Stephanie. She's the director of EVS to use the space. And this is just a space for you all to be able to wash your pets. I don't care if it's all dogs. If you have a llama or something you want to wash, go ahead. It's to keep you all from bending over your bathtubs and keep you safe and make it easier for you to bathe your pets, okay? Open from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, Monday through Friday. You do need to reach out to us so that we can show you how everything works. You're responsible for cleaning up after yourself and also bringing your own toiletries, shampoo, perfume, whatever you want to put on your dog. Okay. Any questions? It is located, yes,
Towels.
towels.
Bring our own
You need to
towels.
bring your own towels,
Okay.
yes. Bring your own supplies. This is located inside the commercial laundry on level G in the Windsor building. And we'll be ready Monday, June 1st.
What is
Plant,
that?
plant garage level. Plant ops updates. 3rd floor AL automatic door installation between assisted living and IL, independent living, is in progress. We wanted to make it easier for folks to get through that area, especially in scooters or with a walker. So that's being done Monday, June 1st, 9 a.m. Elevator 1 in the Carlisle building will be shut down for 2 days for belt replacements. This is scheduled. The elevator is scheduled for 2 days offline for a replacement, and they'll be posting a memo. This is preventative maintenance. The belt hasn't failed, but we would like to replace it so that we don't have a debacle like we did last time when we had to replace an elevator belt. So we have a very much more proactive elevator maintenance group, and we appreciate that. Tuesday, June 9th at 12 p.m. there'll be a crane on site for a delivery. This is for an installation of a rooftop unit for the Carlisle. It's a DOAS unit. It's basically a fresh air unit for the Carlisle. You might remember last year we had one fail and had to replace it. Now the second one has failed and we're having to replace that. They don't build them like they used to. Picture the pyramids in the back of my Anyway, the back of the Carlisle building will be closed off and partial parking blocked off for that crane. We don't lift stuff anymore with our muscles and put it on platform dolly. Everything's crane now, I guess to save everybody's back, which I wish I'd known about sooner. Thursday, 8 p.m. This is done. Phase 4 Preston West Courtyard closure driveway completed. Okay, Preston sprinkler system. Everybody knows that we are getting ready to install a sprinkler system in the Preston. Yes? Those of you that are in the Preston, I want you to be reassured that the sprinkler system won't go off as often as the fire alarm smoke system. So, and I know you're laughing, but I've had a few people concerned. If Mr. Jones burns his toast in apartment 2. That doesn't set off the sprinkler system for the whole building. It'll set off his smoke alarm, and if he keeps it with his door closed and doesn't let it in the hall, it won't set off the whole building's fire alarm system. But if he opens his door to the corridor, it will set off the fire alarm system. But still, not the sprinkler system, right? No, when the fire alarm sounds, it scares us all, me included. But it doesn't mean that the sprinkler system's gonna pop on in your apartment. The only time the sprinkler system activates is when it senses heat. And it melts that little bullet, the magic bullet in there. It's plastic, basically. And when that melts, then the sprinkler system activates. Seldom in my 18 years have we had a fire that would set off a sprinkler system. I think it's happened twice. But it wouldn't have set off the sprinkler system for the whole building. It would only set off the sprinkler system in that unit. One, you may remember a few years ago that we had a kitchen fire. Somebody left bacon and bacon grease unattended, or turned their back to it and left it on, and it set up. It actually caused a pretty big kitchen fire. Lasted for about 20 minutes. It never got beyond that apartment. And really, we live in very well designed, built buildings, and it typically won't. That's why we tell you to shelter in place when the fire alarm goes off. If you need to evacuate, we and the fire department will help you evacuate. This building is built into zones. The sprinkling of the Preston building makes it even safer than it was before, okay? And it's been a safe building for us for 60 years, almost 60 years.
Chuck, can you tell us how long our apartment will have workmen in it when they're putting the...
Yeah, okay. Let me walk you through it just a little bit. Likely we'll start on the first floor of the Preston building. We will build main lines first in the corridors. And so we'll be taking down some of the ceiling grid again, and then we'll put it back up after the fire marshal's inspected it. Coming into your apartment's not very invasive, but what will happen is they'll come in, and it'll probably take 2 to 4 hours each apartment, depending on the size. And they will, you know how your kitchens and your bathrooms have a lower ceiling than the rest of your apartment? It's called a fur down. And so the plastic sprinkler pipe, it's about 1 inch, will come through that fur down and then pop out of the wall of that fur down. And it'll have a high spread sprinkler head on it that will be attached, and it'll sit there. And so if there's ever a fire in your living room, that sprinkler head will activate. And that's the work. And then they'll put a round one, a round spread sprinkler head in your kitchen and in your bathroom. So that's really the work that'll happen. 2 to 4 hours, I think. The first few apartments will be a little slower than that as they get their rhythm. And then the plan is to cover up each floor as we go so that we don't have, no ceiling tile for the holidays. We're going to try to have everything in place and ready for the holidays. And we, of course, they'll have the laurel and everything. So it should be pretty close to normal for the Preston by December, okay? And we have to do this sprinkler project. We've been grandfathered for 60 years, but the insurance carriers are like, you really need to sprinkle the building. We don't want to insure you anymore if you're not going to be sprinkled. So that's why we're moving forward with it. This is the look at the 5-week look ahead. Lots of activity going on. You can see the Preston dining room, the Laurel, May 25th through the June 27th. These are the basically the bulk of the activity in that area. Install remaining ceiling, touching up finishes, installing millwork, which is cabinetry, and all of that's being installed. Installing the skylight on the outdoor dining area. That metal corrugated roof will have a skylight in it. A-wing, leveling the floors. This is being done at the end of May through early June. Tiling the bathrooms already. They're setting the bathroom vanities. They're demoing slab at the floor. Clean out, lowering the clean out. pouring back the clean out, all of these things in preparation for the A wing to be finished. West Courtyard, we are removing that, I call it cottage cheese kind of gray sidewalk and replacing with normal concrete. Thank you, City of Austin, for approving that. Working on landscape, installing the irrigation over there, installing the handrails June 8th through the 18th. So instead of the 2x4 handrails, you'll have real metal handrails. Installing a French drain, backfilling the generator walls so the concrete was poured for the generator. It's going to be a big, beautiful generator. Actually, if you like the Windsor generator, that's the one it's going to be. It's great. Preston Main Courtyard. So what the plan is, hopefully, that we get 2/3 of the Preston Main Courtyard at the same time or shortly after we get the Laurel Dining Room back. So only the conservatory and the part that surrounds the conservatory will be construction zone. So they will give us a big part of that courtyard back, which we're looking forward to. They're installing the light ballards though for the main courtyard. That's the lighting on the little pedestals. That's being installed, and installing the conduit for all the electrical so we can put our Christmas tree back out there. The conservatory, you may have seen some of the metal that's going up for the conservatory. There's a lot of steel in that conservatory being installed. They're installing the decking June 18th through the 24th, and inspecting the decking and fireproofing the decking, and then they'll start to pour concrete. The theater, it's already been dug out. They're installing pipe for the janitor sink, to demoing the curb, placing paving at the grease trap, forming grade beam, placing the knee walls. So they're really starting to build up out of the ground. All of this with the plan to be finished at the end of this year. I'll walk you through the schedule just a little bit. I'm not going to go through all of this, but it continues to work. So they're starting the demo phase of the B wing connection to the A wing, right? And you'll notice some holes being opened up in the building envelope, the glass is being taken out, and then we're building temporary walls. This is for the bridge that connects the Preston building, A and B wing. Here's some progress photos. So this is the cocktail lounge, and this is the bar area. Multi-purpose corridor. So this is the corridor that runs along the new multi-purpose space. You notice the stone is being done and all the glass is being put in and waterproofing being accomplished. This is along that corridor. And then the conservatory metal, this is an early picture, it was just starting to be put up. Here's a picture of the magnolia trees in the way a little bit, but you can see that the deck is rising there. That's the top. This is where the parking garage used to be. A lot of the amenity spaces, and that's pointed towards the marketing lobby. So you can see they're putting up stud walls, and they'll start, they'll close it all in, dry it in, and then they'll start installing the sheetrock. This is not the finished Preston lobby, I don't want you to worry. So I want to show this picture one more time. This is temporary, but what'll happen over the next few months is they'll want to demo the current reception desk, and we'll put the receptionist over in this area temporarily while they work on that. We have to turn a fire panel, which is really scaring us. We have to turn and move it about 3 feet. That'll be fun. This is the Laurel Dining Room. This is also the cocktail lounge, Laurel Dining Room. This is where you remember the rendering with the round wood feature? That's what this is. More Laurel Dining Room with the sheetrock. So the dining schedule still June, July. Activity center, same time. Preston lobby, area 1, they worked on March 26th was their plan. May 26th, we hope to have this second area. So we're basically wrapping around the Preston lobby, that core elevators, and we're making it round. And then Preston Lobby Area 3, we hope to have finished in October 2026. And we're hoping that the city won't. One of the things that bothers a couple of the inspectors is that we're trying to get the Laurel Dining Room before we have the lobby finished, and they're connected. And they don't like that you have somebody going through a construction area to get to the Laurel Dining Room. And so there's a little bit of debate going back and forth. We hope to win. West Courtyard, that's the rain garden that was finished. Yes, that concrete pit, whatever you want to call it. It's finished. I'm probably going to put stucco on it. And then there's some plant material that actually goes in there. It's still going to look like a concrete wall though. Conservatory, so hopefully that'll be finished January 2027. This is actually certificate of occupancy date. So the construction will be finished and it'll be ideally be inspected and approved by January 2027. That's the conservatory 1, 2, and 3 levels. The third level being the deck that's right outside those doors, right? And then Windsor level 1 should be January 2027 as well. That's the area below where the parking garage used to be. The main courtyard, again, October 26th. Jackson Avenue, so this is the new courtyard that we're getting. That's on the east facing, right? Jackson Avenue. That courtyard is supposed to be finished November 2026. So the conservatory, that hallway, bless you, the hallway connecting, the corridors connecting A and B wing of Preston on first, second, and third floors. Should be finished about the same time. And the group fitness is the last thing that happens, probably what will have to happen for us to finish the group fitness. What happens there is the current salon, the beauty salon that we have, will be replaced by a day spa salon on the other side of the building, and that salon that we have currently, that space will be added to the fitness studio. And so that's why it has to wait until the end of the job. So to make the group fitness area larger, essentially. And we're gonna put in sliding automatic door there for an entrance, because I know those swinging doors have not worked out well. That'll be one of the last things. That and the big generator, the Preston generator. So the Windsor generator, when we receive the new generator for the Windsor building, which should occur in July or early August, the Windsor generator will be shipped off to its manufacturer, and it'll have a biofuel kit put on it and a new tank that will supply up to 7 days of run time for the Preston building, all systems. So air conditioning, if we lose power, we still have air conditioning, we'll still have heat, all of our systems or lights, your plugs in your apartments, all the medical devices that you may use, all of that stuff will work up to 7 days. That's one of the plans for this project for us. We picked up a couple of awards, which was exciting for us in May. I think I talked about the Leading Age Excellence in Community Impact Award. We received that at the conference last week. I was not on vacation despite the rumors. I was at a conference. And we also received 2026 Communitas Award for Excellence in Community Service. This is really for our Alzheimer's fundraising, which is about to kick off again this year. We're excited about that. Look for it, it'll be happening in June. 2026, so Sarah and Cassie went to Des Moines, Iowa to our corporate office, and they gave us an award for Signature Achievement, which means we're the best community in the LCS portfolio, 150 communities with our signature experience. That was pretty neat. And then AccuShield, does everybody know what AccuShield is? That's our sign-in system that all the visitors sign into when they come to visit you. Named us one of the safest places to work in the country, and that we are the most compliant community in the country. So that was pretty cool. Not too bad to be the safest place to live, and I think work too. So there was, I don't know, how many of you saw the news stories about our great Austin High folks. Yeah, and the Memorial Day story as well. All right. Yeah, so I've been asked to play those today, so I'm gonna try, see, make sure technology works for us here. Here we go.
So we got to speak with the only female.
Everybody hear it okay?
Austin's first continuing character. We'll be right back with her story. Stay with us.
Good Day Austin is on your side.
Westminster, Austin's first continuing care retirement community, was founded in 1967 with more than 70 of its residents being veterans.
Yeah, currently one female veteran calls Westminster home. Fox 7 Austin digital lead Donnie Wong and Good Day Austin weekend anchor Libby Farrow recently spoke to her.
It was interesting, colorful, ups, downs. You know, it was anything but boring.
That's how Jean Diebold describes her time in the military, but it's also a good description of her own life. Jean went to Carnegie Mellon to become an actress, but in her words, was not very good. So she went to work for Glamour magazine in New York, spent some time in the Riviera in Spain, before deciding she wanted to do something different.
So when I went to the recruiters and I said, how do I meet a fighter pilot? This is the mission. They said, well, what can you do? I said I can tell the difference between cotton and wool, which I thought was a reasonable answer. That's not what he was looking for.
She did eventually accomplish her mission of marrying a fighter pilot, and she also became a nurse and served in Vietnam.
Yeah, I ended up at Cam Bay, Southeast Asia, and found out that war was not fun and games. It actually was pretty damn depressing. Spent a year there. You know, you feel like I'm out there, I'm helping, I'm doing, you know, you say your prayers and you say thanks for the opportunity and watch over me tomorrow real closely too.
After Vietnam, Jean returned to the U.S. and eventually opened 5 clinics in underserved communities in East Texas.
Well, it started out my country needs me. And when you see the horrific stuff that I saw in the war, and then you see a child who looks like they could have a permanent problem, and I'd had 2 kids, so I was there. But I think it was the people. The people were so warm, so appreciative, and it was just, how could you not want to help them?
Jean says she may not have started out wanting to serve, but
I made a life out of it. Yes.
Well, Jean, it's been such a pleasure speaking to you. You've lived such an amazing life, honestly. We could talk to you for hours.
Yes.
Yeah, and I could throw something in every couple of minutes.
Surprise me
I
every
love your
time.
personality. It's
Yes.
so great,
It's
and
amazing.
you know, it's amazing. Thank you for your service. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Very cool.
That was a bit of a surprise.
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 So, one thing I want to talk about real quick before I move on, this next story is really cool too. So, I don't know how many of you know this, but one of the things that I'm doing out there in my spare time is presenting to folks and trying to teach them, folks in the senior living industry, right? To be more person-centered and to listen to the residents and to help support residents in living their best life and supplying them with choices and empowering them to tell their stories. And so when you are open and tell your stories, it's inspiring. And it may not seem to be, but it really is. It inspires other seniors to tell their stories and to live with purpose and meaning. And it also inspires other senior living communities, other senior living facilities, organizations to be better than they are, right? So please do, every chance you get, tell your stories, okay? Your stories have value, and your stories do inspire people, whether you feel like it or not. And I know it's not easy to open up sometimes and tell your stories, but it's meaningful. It really does make a difference. all of us working together could continue to make a big difference in the lives of Texans, especially seniors, if we could continue to share our stories and share our knowledge. How many of you know that I hate doing presentations? It's easy here, right? Because I know you all. I'm an introvert at heart, right? I really am. I do presentations on person-centered care and some of the things. I like to operate. I like to be the guy behind the scenes. I don't like to be the center of attention. But I do like to support everyone I know in having an abundant life and support all of you in living your best life. And that's what I'm dedicated to every day. What I do know is not many people are talking about that, and not many people are working towards that. And I want to make senior living better for everyone. And so I appreciate you telling your stories and opening up and being willing to. I'm going to show the next video. This is very cool also.
Good Day Austin on Fox 7.
It's graduation season, and as many probably know, Loyal Forever is the school song for Austin High School, and a phrase that carries extra meaning for some of the residents at Westminster, which is Austin's first continuing care retirement community, founded in 1967. Fox 7 Austin's digital lead, Donnie Wong, has the story.
The residents of Westminster say there's a lot to love about living there.
This area is so central.
Absolutely.
I mean, we've got the university right there, we've got state capitol, we've got museums, we've got everything.
Hospitals,
It's close. It's just so nice to be able to kind of live out the last parts of our lives in an area like this.
But it's about more than convenience. It's about the community. A community that includes more than 50 Austin High graduates, the earliest from the class of 1943 that now call Westminster home.
I think many of us didn't realize how many of us were here.
Cynthia Leach moved into Westminster at a younger age than most, after she and her husband grew tired of keeping up a big house. And she says once she realized she'd met so many fellow Austin High grads, she came up with the idea for reunions.
I asked 3 other people to be on a committee with me, and we have 53 Austin High graduates here that we know of. I think we've missed some, but that was really exciting. And we've had just finished our fourth reunion in the spring, and a lot of people that don't get out anymore, can't drive, they just think it's wonderful. We just an hour and a half and visit and eat lunch and sing our school songs, and it seems like it's really been a hit for all Maroons.
2 of those Maroons are Russ Butler and Carlene Jenkins.
Russ and I graduated together, and we just had been friends for a long time. We were really good friends in high school, and we were really good friends until now. We still are really good friends. His wife was probably one of my very best friends.
Russ and Carlene go all the way back to elementary school and, like Cynthia, went to the University of Texas as well.
We've been pretty far apart during our, professional lives, and really we're kind of coming back more and more right now. We're really,
And my husband and Russ are best friends. In fact, people here think they look alike, but no, we never have thought that, but they think they're brothers.
They admit that things have definitely changed since their days at Austin High.
Just looking at the yearbooks, you can tell the difference. That yearbook over there in 47, that's a pipe with the smoke around the comet. That surprised us.
But for all 3, especially Russ and Carlene, they continue to grow their Austin High bond and remain loyal forever.
Well, we have our little Tuesday evening dinner group that we just get together every Tuesday.
We call it the rest of our life, the ROOL.
Yeah, don't throw those away. I saw somebody returning them, brought a tear to my eye today. You all know what star cards are for, right? All right. That's all I have. I'll open it up to questions. All the way up here in the front. Thank you, Maria.
I just had a question about the construction. The areas above the speakeasy and the 2nd and 3rd floor, how will that be used?
on the second and third floor above the speakeasy.
Too small to be apartments.
Well, they'll be guest rooms, so to speak, hotel rooms basically. So just like our regular guest rooms are now, we'll be adding them. I think total we'll have 10 at the end of the job, guest rooms, which has kind of been a problem for us. We run short sometimes, so it'll be nice to have the additional spaces.
10 at the Preston?
10 in the total,
Oh,
10 total all campus.
I don't have a question, I just have a thank you. Thank you for replacing the tree and the 3 big shrubs. When I first saw the big rock, I thought, oh no, they're gonna replace the tree and the shrubs with that rock. That won't work.
We really like trees.
I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
So grateful,
Glad to
Chuck.
get that
Thank
done.
you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We were thrilled to hear that the Laurel, excuse me, that will be open hopefully by the end of June. But more importantly, when will the bar be open?
Same time. Same time. I'll have a margarita over there with you when it's open, okay?
So we have seven days on the emergency generators. What happens after 7 days?
Well, hopefully we get a supply of diesel to replenish us. So, actually you could stretch it further than 7 days by eliminating circuits, right? That's 7 days under a full load, which we really never actually have happen, right? What we do, we have agreements with diesel companies. The biofuel kit will not run without diesel. You have to have diesel. What it does is it folds natural gas into the diesel that extends your runtime. And so we have an agreement with diesel companies that will bring us diesel and replenish us to keep us going. Ideally, you wouldn't lose power all 3 buildings for 7 days, but if you did, we would get that replenished. I wish we had a diesel supply here on campus other than the tanks, but we don't. So. Yes?
I do want to say, we can proudly say that we have been running the Tech Help Group for 5 years.
You're a powerful speaker, sir.
Yeah.
I just had lunch with the Tech Help Group, and they are the only Tech Help Group in senior living, by the way, run by the residents. And they've been operating for 5 years. We had a great lunch and talked about it, and we reminisced over the first computers that we worked on and things like that. And I think they worked on computers a little older than what I'm used to, but yeah, it was fascinating. Thank you all for your support, and I can't wait to see what you do with your new Tech Help room in the library. I think we're the only community with a Veterans Association too, by the way. I hope to change that.
Hi there.
Hi.
I have a 2007 Yamaha Vino, which is a gas-powered scooter, and
It's cute. I saw it in the Windsor garage.
it really is.
Yeah, I love scooters. I used to have one in college. But anyway.
Aren't they great? 75 miles to the gallon, by the way. But I can't get it out of the garage. I mean, how do I get it out of the garage? I finally parked it, walked out the door of the Windsor garage, G1, walked out the door, ran around to the thing where you put your fob to get into the garage, and raced back and jumped onto the scooter and raced out the entrance to the garage.
Can you tell us when you're doing this? I'd like to get it on film. Is it, okay, so I'm imagining that it's not heavy enough to set off the sensor to open the garage door.
It's 230 pounds.
Okay, so the answer is, I think you can get a garage door opener that will open the gate, and we can get that for you. Just talk to marketing about it. Okay, go to marketing, yes, and ask them for a garage door opener for the gate, and they'll get you one.
They're $75.
They're $75, but it's worth it, and you won't have to run around like that much.
There are a lot of bicycles there, I don't know how they get out.
They go out the door,
Well,
but that's probably not what you want to do with your scooter.
all right, thank you.
I love it. Thanks for, that's an easy problem. I'm glad you brought it forward. Did you ask reception? Anytime, no, they know. If they don't know, they can find somebody that knows. If any question you have, any problem like that, just call reception and they'll find somebody to answer for you. They may end up calling me because nobody else has the answer, but we will find an answer for you. Okay? That goes for anything. All right. Yes, ma'am.
I'm interested in long-term plans for guest parking.
Stop construction and get our parking back. That's the long-term plan.
We're putting a coffee shop where a lot of the parking used to be.
Well, we get 17 spaces back and we're not even using valet parking, hardly at all. So we have plenty of spaces, just a matter of using them. We do get 17 spaces back on the back side of the Preston parking garage, and they're parking in construction in there now. So, once the construction stops, we'll lose about 30 vehicles that are using our parking spaces. So it'll be a lot better. Any other questions?
Thank you, Chuck.
Thank you very much.